marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.
Hello and welcome. Goa is burning and sparks of limited agitations are now turning into wildfires. What is happening? Let us have a look at top 3 headlines from Goa this week. Anti-IIT protest on violent villagers opposing project clash with police, lathi charge, tear gas responded with stone pelting. CM firm says project will go ahead. Controversial railway double tracking project of Southwestern Railways cleared by National Wildlife Board, Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar tweets. Clamour for united opposition in Goa grows. Goa Forward MGP independent MLAs pitch for united front against BJP. And the topic that we are dealing this week is Congress rejuvenation a pipe dream? Or is there really something called revamp of the Congress party?
The awful performance of the Goa Pradesh Congress Committee in the recently concluded Zilla Parishad election has raised serious questions regarding the political future of the grand old party in the coastal state. The most contentious issue that is being widely debated and discussed across the section in the political circles too is the capacity of the senior leaders to revive the political fortunes of the already beleaguered principal opposition party in Goa. The party, which is left with only 5 MLAs in the 40-member Goa Legislative Assembly that includes 4 ex-chief ministers, is suffering from lack of leadership. The vacuum is the elephant in the room. Not once, but twice. Back in June 2019 and recently in December 2020, Girish Chodankar tendered his resignation from the post of Goa Congress Unit Chief. However, the party high command's delay in deciding on the resignation has riddled the party with internal inertia. Besides the leadership crisis, which is the worst shortcoming of the party, the swift decline of the Congress since 2012, despite managing to emerge as a single large party in 2017 elections, have facilitated the silent death of the party in the state. The voters too have lost trust in the party, and it was evident during the recently held Zilla Parishad polls, where party's voter share declined by almost 10% compared to state assembly elections in 2017. The party's debacle started way back in 2012 when the party reduced to single digit with only 9 MLAs. The extravagant campaign led by the BJP stalwart late Manohar Parrikar against the Digambar Kamath-led government helped the Saffron party win 21 seats, creating history in state politics. The principal opposition under former chief Luisin Falero, who was brought back to Goa by the High Command to take control in 2014, had a comeback with a bang, winning 17 seats and emerging as the single largest party in March 2017 polls. However, despite being a runner-up behind the Congress, the BJP, which backed only 13 seats, pulled off a coup and staked the claim to form the next government in Goa in coalition with regional parties and independents. As the Saffron party outmaneuvered the Congress in its bid to power, the Sonia Gandhi-led got its first jolt after its MLA, Vishwajit Rane, now in the BJP-led government, walked out from the floor of the state assembly. Minutes before the speaker could call both parties, BJP and Congress, to prove majority. Expressing his displeasure over the party's failure to form government, Rane announced his resignation from the party membership and also as MLA. It was the beginning of downfall in 2018. Subhash Shirodkar and Dayanand Sopte left the party in June 2019. Another 10 MLAs, including the leader of opposition Chandrakant Kavlekar, announced merger of the party's legislative wing to the BJP. The party totally failed to nurture the grassroots level organizational structures of the party, which can help in mass mobilization. Also, complete lack of any consistent or coherent idea on which the party can build a narrative of its political identity to attract the people.
Everyone hopes for a healthy, aggressive and consistent opposition party to keep the ruling establishment in check. However, with Congress, the question remains, is revamp of the Congress just an idea that can never translate into reality? And if so, who would fill the vacuum? Prishang Mahatme for Goa Ahead.
I have four eminent panelists with me in the studio. First, senior lawyer and political analyst Cleophas Bab Kutins. Cleophas Bab, welcome to the show. I have Sanjay Dhawlikar, editor of Goan Varta and senior journalist with me in the studio. Sanjay Bab, welcome. Online, I have senior lawyer and political analyst Radharao Bab Gracias. Radharao Bab, welcome. And last
Happy New Year to everyone.
Last and definitely not the least, I have senior journalist Derek Almeida. Derek, welcome to the show. Derek, I'll start with you. It's a topic. We are choosing this topic because suddenly everybody has started that the opposition needs to come together to take on the BJP. But the principal opposition party seems to be in no position to do that. What do you feel? Can Congress take up that mantle and go forward, or we should just say that there is nothing called revamp of the Congress, whatever happens, happens?
First of all, I don't think the Congress is decimated as such or completely on the back foot. And that is because the present structure of the BJP, it's a very artificial construct. It's not pure BJP. It's a combination of MLAs from many MLAs from the Congress. So the Congress is not down and out. Can the Congress take the lead? That is, it's a little bit early to say that, to take the lead, to form a combined force against the BJP. Because the moment the Congress says it at this point, it will demoralize its units in all the constituencies. So that is something that will come much later. But if you look at it at the present state and look at previous elections, a combination will be a very strong combination and will give the BJP a really tough fight.
Radhabab, you agree with Derek
Yes.
that he feels that it is still not the decimation? You can't still call it that Congress is out. You agree with that?
See, obviously the Congress is out of power and it exists on paper. Now, the way I see it, you see, it is not a mere matter of all parties coming together. I would feel that the Congress has to get everyone within itself, not form an alliance. Because the moment there is an alliance, I am quite confident, or I wouldn't use the word. I feel very clearly that if it forms an alliance, let us say with the GFP and with the NCP, there are pretty good chances that after election they will again go away. So it is important that these elements, that the Congress must get the NCP Goa unit to merge with it and the GFP also to merge with it. Otherwise, an alliance will serve no purpose. And I don't think even people will support such an alliance.
Cleophas, what do you feel? Revamp of Congress possible? Or if you look at the situation at the center as well as in the state unit, we should not hope too much for it?
See, revamp of the local unit would also depend on the revamp at the national level. National level also they have to revamp themselves. See, if you look at locally, Congress did very well in the last parliamentary polls. The results show that they increased their vote percentage by over 6%. At a time when there was a Modi tsunami, the BJP vote actually came down by 2.3%. This somehow is lost sight of. The Congress vote something is around 43%, while Modi swept nationally with 37%. So I don't think your question of rejuvenation is correctly put. Now, on the other hand, what Radha says that they have to be together is right. At the national level, national elections, they were together. Last assembly elections, they were together. And in 1999, when Louisin formed the government, they were together. At any time the Congress comes together, they are somehow sweeping the polls. This time, now take the last ZP election. I would say they did not take this election seriously. In any case, Zilla elections are never taken seriously. And in many places, the Congress party worked against their own official candidates. The MLAs worked, the party worked. Somehow there was a fear that that the ZP members would be a threat to them at the assembly elections, and that was a factor which, of course, that is what goes with the Congress party at all the times.
Sanjay Bab, how do you look at it? Can Congress revamp itself, or till things settle in Delhi, there is nothing that we should hope for in Goa?
Yeah, Pramod very rightly, Cleophas brought this point that problem in Goa, problem in Congress is not only in Goa. The origin of this problem is in Delhi. And for last few months, no, last quite months or about a year or two, Congress has not been able to sort their problems, issues of say who's going to be the president of the party. And similarly, similar issues have been coming up in different states, including Goa. Girish Chodankar resigned twice or thrice. There is no replacement. Similarly, Rahul Gandhi resigned. There is no new president. Nobody is taking over. Nobody knows what is the future of this party at central level. So same way, I think Congress is going in Goa. So more importantly, they will have to solve their issues and problems at central level first. Only then they will be able to put their state units in place. This is what I feel. Secondly, about this alliance and about going together. Now, absolutely what we have seen in national politics as well as in Goa politics, the party which is in ruling, all other party tend to come together to fight elections to defeat that party. This used to happen against Congress earlier. Now we see this is happening against BJP. At least people are discussing this. I don't know whether they will be able to come together and fight elections with one force against BJP. But the discussion at least has begun. To do this, to make this happen, I think Congress will have to be in a position to lead the opposition, which is not happening, which has not happened.
The election is just 12 to 13 months away, and almost 4 to 5 months, the last 4 to 5 months will go into campaigning and a code of conduct. So you effectively have 6 to 7 months to put your house in order. There is no time. Don't you think that's the major issue, biggest issue that Congress should be worried about?
That could be an issue, all right. But the situation, you look at the situation right now, is you have 10 MLAs from the Congress, 12 MLAs from the Congress who are now in the BJP. Now, I've been, out of these 12, there are at least about 8 who will have a problem trying to get elected on a BJP ticket. So they will have to take decisions on their political future when it gets much closer to the polls. So there are certain constituencies, at least about 10 of them, where the Congress will have to take decisions much later and very close to the polls, and those decisions will depend on what these 10 MLAs do. Like, I'll just give an example of, say, Sopte's constituency. When he stood on the Congress, he got 16,000 votes. When they had that by-election, he got roughly around 13,500 votes. Now, the combined votes of the other two, Congress and there was one independent, I think, is the same as Sopte. So there are 3, now you take Shirodda. So there are 2-3 constituencies like this where decisions are going to be taken when much closer to the polls. Now,
but do you think, Derek, those who deserted Congress, they should be welcomed back in the party?
It will all depend on whether that candidate can win, because Goa has traditionally never or very rarely voted out MLAs who have jumped from one political party to the other. If that was very clear, these 10 would not have gone in the first place. So I'm not really convinced that you should have new faces or you should have young faces. In the Congress, you need a combination of the old and the new. Okay, because otherwise these two camps, they fight like mad. And this is what played out in 2017, the old against the new, and they could not form government because of that.
Radhabab, you agree with that?
Yes.
What should be Congress's strategy when it comes to those 10 MLAs? If they decide at the last moment that BJP's symbol is not the right symbol for them, what should Congress do? The door is open or the door should be shut?
No, I don't see how the door can be open to them at all, even if they win or lose. It would be better to field new candidates, as I have said, entirely new faces, and go for the polls and win it. You see, the Congress has a very good example of our Indian cricket team. Just a few weeks ago, we were routed for 36 runs. We were all out for 36. And in no time, in the second test, we came back to win the second test. So all the Congress needs is an Ajinkya Rahane. They need a new leader who can take the team from down at the bottom and make it win. Something that I think the Congress should be capable of. But I think Goa
Does
is full
Congress
of
have
Ajinkya
a
Rahane.
Ajinkya Rahane?
Goa is full of them. Goa is full of Ajinkya Rahane.
I like
the
your
Congress
optimism.
has only to pick them up. They have to pick them up. If they depend still on the old faces sitting at coming in the month or on a Samaj-based politics, they will be out.
Cleophas Bab, the biggest strength probably of the Congress this time is they have 35 to 37 seats vacant. They can actually choose and give good candidates. How do you think Congress should approach that situation? Or you feel that like every time, Congress can still mess up the situation?
See, from 1999, Louisin formed the government with 21. Sardin and others deserted him to form the government with BJP. From that time onwards, people have been deserting the Congress party. They have been coming back. Some of them have won, as Derek said. I think that is playing havoc with the present Congress system. I think time has now come, as Radha says, to put up all the new faces wherever possible.
What about those 10? Because we have seen in Zilla Panchayat election, many of them were not even comfortable to put up a candidate on a BJP symbol in their constituency.
Yes.
What happens to them? The door should be shut or the door should be open?
See, according to me, the door cannot be opened to them, because if the door is open to them again, see, this trust deficit will again be there. That these people are using Congress as a doormat and then going to the BJP. And this has happened for 20 years. So if they choose new faces, at least a new signal will go to the people. And I think that signal is required.
Sanjay Bab, what do you feel? As I said, for the first time probably there are 35 to 37 seats of Congress open. Congress can actually decide whom to give those tickets. Do you think Congress is in any position to make the right choice, or like they have proved time and again, they can still mess up the situation?
Where are these faces in Congress? In Jilla Panchayat election, did we see any of these new faces coming up, campaigning for the party, working for the party? Did we see them? No. Whether now I would say the next generation of leadership, where is that leadership? Girish was seen as that as a representative of that new leadership. But whether he was able to make that strong team of new faces, so he had to resign ultimately after the debacle in Jilla Panchayat election. Otherwise, on the contrary, what we see is in BJP, whatever you may say, however they rule or whatever that's a different issue, but new generation has taken over in BJP. After Manohar Parrikar in state, or maybe at center also, new generation right from 2014 have taken over the party. How they rule, what they do is different thing, but they have taken over the leadership.
There are
that is
faces.
not happening in Congress party so far. So, and we are talking of giving new candidates. It's a good thing, of course. Congress must give new candidates. This must utilize this as a best opportunity to put in new faces. But are they in a position? Are they well organized to do that?
Yeah,
is a question.
I think this question can be answered by saying that Congress so far has never been a party as such. It has been a conglomeration of individuals coming together at election time. So if you can get them elected, get people, I think certainly that issue can be sorted out.
Finally, Derek, two crucial questions. Radhabab made a point that don't go for a grand alliance, get everybody in. So don't go for MGP, GFP, NCP, Congress alliance. Get everybody in, form a stronger Congress. That is point one. Point two, with AAP in play, do you think that there is any possibility of a united opposition for 2022?
There is a possibility of a united opposition, right? And I feel the Congress should go in for one. I was of the opinion, that they should have gone in for one in 2017. But the national politics, impinged itself on Goa politics, and the whole thing crumbled. We know how it all crumbled. So if there are certain constituencies in which if the MGP and the Congress combine, they can be one. There are certain constituencies in which if the Congress and the Goa Forward Party combine, those can be one, right? So even if you take the existing constituencies and say like, okay, say with the Goa Forward Party, you have won these 3 constituencies, so we can leave them out to you. That means it increases your tally.
So you want a grand alliance and not assimilation of these parties in the Congress?
No, assimilation is not possible because none of these parties trust the Congress.
Okay.
Even none of them. I don't see Vijay Sardesai, going back to the Congress because even when he was outside the Congress, there was huge attempts to destabilize him, and he fought against it. He's a remarkable leader, really speaking, because single-handedly he has won 3 seats. You see, and so you have to first seriously consider him as a leader of the Goa Forward Party and form some sort of alliance, because then it increases. You get 3 constituencies extra there.
Okay.
The Congress, I think now by itself can still win about 15 to 17 seats.
Radhabab, how do you look at it? Very pertinent points by Derek. You said that get everyone within, but with AAP in play, with that trust deficit when it comes to Congress, can that happen, and what's the best way forward?
I do not want everybody to come on board with the Congress. See, the Congress will lose if everybody is taken in. The Congress has to see to it that the MGP continues as MGP.
Yeah.
And that AAP also continues as AAP. All that the Congress has to get is NCP and GFP within it. And then play its cards well.
The issue about AAP, see, somehow there is no third place in politics. It has to be the winner and the runner-up. Now, maybe Derek is right that in 1 or 2 places, there is a third place possible. Now, from that perspective, I feel that people normally play their cards strategically and they knock out the third player. And that is what happened in last assembly elections, that happened in the last Lok Sabha election.
Okay. Finally, Sanjay Bab, how do you look at it? A grand alliance, assimilation of couple of parties in the Congress, and the AAP factor.
Yeah, I don't see any possibility of having Goa having a grand alliance against BJP. It's not going to happen for sure. And as I see, why Vijay Sardesai went out of Congress, very, very clear. And those people who are responsible for his exit are going to be there in Congress. They are not going to be out of Congress and going to be in the leadership. Because Congress leadership, what we have seen is either it is Rane or Louisine or Sardina, or the same 4-5 people, leadership goes around among themselves. So that is not, the change is not happening. Similarly at center also, there is no alternative. Gandhis have to be at the helm. They have to lead this Congress, otherwise there is no single leader who can take the party together and face this challenge posed by BJP. So the same problem is here. My point here is, if Congress, because the onus lies on Congress, if Congress is not able to fill this vacuum, organize themselves, bring like-minded parties together, fight elections with full force. If they are not able to do this in next few months, then there is another party has come up, and we have to take a note of this party, which is Aam Aadmi Party. Of course, they have shown some sign in ZP elections, not that much, but the way they are organizing themselves, the way they are planning these elections, I feel if Congress is unable to fill this vacuum and to organize themselves in the next couple of months, then there is a big worry for them. BJP is going to be there, but that vacuum, if AAP comes forward and fill that vacuum, then Congress is going to really lose miserably. That should be the worry for Congress.
Okay.
That's my point.
Thanks a lot. I'm completely out of time, but I think the simple takeaway is there is vacuum. And if Congress organizes well, Congress can recapture that vacuum. If Congress remains the way it is right now, there is a third entity that can organize itself and capitalize the most. What happens? We'll need to see. Thanks a lot, everybody, for participating in this debate. Keep watching. Go ahead.
Marching to new heights of development under the dynamic and young leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant. A visionary leader, a meticulous administrator, tirelessly working on the dream to take Goa ahead. Goa Ahead is brought to you by the Department of Information and Publicity, Government of Goa.